Hello and welcome. My name is Luisa Winters and I am a WordPress instructor. I would like to take you through setting up a local testing server using XAMPP and WordPress. Let's get to it. So I actually downloaded WordPress and XAMPP, so I'm going to go ahead and install XAMPP. What is XAMPP? What is XAMPP? Well, XAMPP is the application that will let you test your WordPress site locally without having to deploy to a server. Using XAMPP or XAMPP will let you turn your Mac or Windows system into a local testing server for your WordPress website. I'll go to my Downloads folder, and from here I'm just going to run the installer. In English, and I'll click on Next, and I want all of those things, and it's going to install in my root directory or C drive. And now we're actually finished, so I'm going to click on Finished, and there you go. I'm going to start the control panel, and here we go, and I'll close this so we can see better. And I'll move this to the middle, and here's my control panel. From my control panel, I need to start two services, which are Apache and MySQL. So I'll click on Start. And there you go, you can see they're running. I can now minimize this. Now I'm going to open a browser. Any browser. In this case, I'm going to use Firefox, but I could have used Internet Explorer. So here we go. Now I'm going to type localhost, and that puts me on the XAMPP control panel. I'll choose English as my language, and from here I'm going to click on PHP My Admin, and there you go. I'm almost ready. I'll go to Databases, and in here I'll just name the database that I want to create. In this case, I'll name it Luisa DB. I'll make sure that it says collation, and I'll just click on Create. And there you go. It created my Luisa DB. And as you can see, it says it right in here. From here, I'm going to select it and click on Check Privileges. And now I'll click on Add User. You see, I need a user to manage this database, so I'm going to create it here. The username is going to be Luisa_Winters. The host is going to be local, because it's a local testing server. The password, I'm just going to generate it by clicking here. And now I'm going to copy that password. So I'm going to open Notepad, and I'm going to paste this password. Right in here, I'm also going to paste the username, because I'm going to need that. I'll paste it right here above. And now the actual name of the database. The actual name of the database is Luisa DB. There you go. I'm going to minimize this. I'll scroll down, and before I click on Add User, I'm going to click here to check all of these boxes. So I'll be able to select Insert Update. All of those things are checked. Keep on going down, and now I can click on Add User. And there you go. I'm just going to double check that this user has all of the necessary privileges. So I'll click on Edit Privileges. And here we go. Everything is good. In here, and it happens sometimes, we see a no under Grant. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Edit Privileges, and I'm going to check again this Grant box. That didn't get checked before. I'll click on Go, and there you go. Now I can close this. Luisa Winters, all privileges, and we're good. Alrighty, I'm actually done with this, so I'm going to go ahead and install the WordPress site now. I'll go to my Downloads folder, which is actually where I saved the downloaded WordPress file. Now I'm going to unzip all of these files. You can see that this says WordPress 3.5.1 zip. This was the latest version when I downloaded it. Now I can click on Extract All Files, and I can extract it in the same place. And now it's just doing its thing. It's extracting all the files, so we'll just wait a minute. And here we go. I have a WordPress folder in here. I'm just going to click on the folder itself. And I'm going to copy it. I can now go to my C drive, to XAMPP. Double-click htdocs, so my file path is C XAMPP htdocs, and in here I'm going to paste the whole WordPress folder. So copy, paste, easy. Now that this is done, I'm going to double-click this folder, and now I'm going to go to the file called wp-config sample. Right-click it, open with Notepad. And I'll move this right here so we can see it a little bit better. And here we go. Now I'm going to open that other file that I had. Perfect. Database name. And I'll paste it here, leaving the quotation marks intact. Username, copy. Paste it in here. And finally the password, copy it. Paste it here. Not too bad. I can now go ahead and close this. I'll save it. I'll save it on the desktop as SQL info. And there you go. Okay, I'll keep on scrolling down on this file here. And the last thing we need to change is these lines here that start with the word define. This whole block. So what I really mean by that is that we need to add salt. To add salt, all we need to do is select this URL here. It starts with HTTPS and it ends with salt/. Copy that. In your browser, open a new panel if you must, and now paste it. This is going to give you the salt that you need to paste on this file. Select all of this text and copy it. And now we can select the whole block that says define and paste. I'll expand this so you can see that we have just added salt. Now I'm going to save this with the name wp-config without the sample. So File, Save As, the same place, but instead of the word sample, it's just going to be called wp-config.php. Click on Save. Perfect. Alrighty. I can now close this. Back in my browser, I'm going to type my URL, which is localhost /WordPress /wp-admin install.php. And if everything went all right, you're going to be presented with this panel. This is now the site title. I'm just going to type my first WordPress site. And it will help if I actually write it correctly. And there you go. The username, password, and my email address. This is my real email address, which is luisawinters@gmail.com. This is the one that I'm using for this. If you need to communicate with luisa@videotrainers.com, you can also use this one. I will allow search engines to index this site. Now I'm just going to click on Install WordPress and it's going to do its thing. I'm not necessarily going to remember this password. I don't need it. This is a testing server that I use for teaching. And here we go. Success. I'll click on Login. I'll type my username, which is Luisa Winters, and now my password. And if everything went correctly, you're going to be presented with the dashboard of your WordPress site. You were successful. Congratulations. See you next time.